Hi, so this is it's a video tutorial about me portrait painting. So it's nothing about Artist Alley now, so it's more like a tutorial of how I do my drawings. So here is all the reference on the side. I always put it in a separate PSD file because it's easier to look side by side. So yeah, I just gathering reference and I'm doing the character from Sidorica. His name is Ace and he's my favorite character so far in the mobile game. And yeah, reference are really important. So reference, because humans aren't 2D, so if you want to achieve the semi-realism, even 2D, you need to look for reference. And if right now I'm trying to achieve semi-realism, which is kind of hard for me because I feel like my character is lacking textures. So yeah, so I've been practicing a lot recently, so hopefully my skill gets better and maybe I do another tutorial video, but this is how I'm doing it. So right now I'm doing a structure sketch. So it's basically the skeleton under the drawing, and then after that I will eventually do the character on top, and then I will do a clean line work on top. Usually people sometimes paint over their sketch. I can't do that. I need the line work. I need it to be clean. So yeah. So the structure sketch is very important because you need to know how the character pose. So you do minimum work later on. But so you can see sometimes I have to switch it around. Maybe the head is too big or the neck is too small. So I have to switch it around, which is that's why it's so important to do an underlying sketch. So basically the same pose as this guy that's black and white. So you can trace over him, but I feel like it's best for you to draw through observation because it helps you improve your skill more. I mean, you could trace over because him still kind of increase your skill too, but I feel like observation will train your eye to look, how big is, to measure up the neck or the shoulders, But yeah, of course it's not like a complete copy of it, so it does give you some originality too. But yeah, so I probably gotta go over speed up the line work, and then I gotta go to the I'm speeding up the draft, and I gotta go to the line work phase. So as you can see, I do lots of changes, and this is just the structure. So it takes a lot of time for me to do the line work. I feel like it's more difficult than the painting. Well, actually, never mind. It's debatable. Sometimes the painting is harder. I don't know why. It has like an on and off. But as you can see that I'm using a lot of my reference. So I just look at the character, how it's supposed to look, and of course it's different from anime. So I'm doing semi-realism, so I'm just using the characteristics of the character to put them in. So most anime or cartoon that like some characters style have the same face shape, so it's really hard to make them different for the other, which is why reference is important to see what is the key characteristic that makes the character different. Is always the hair, or how the hair moves, or the color of the hair, or maybe something special about the outfit that makes the character who it is. So reference is important because sometimes you think you know the character and then you draw him and then you realize there's something missing. So reference is super important. And of course you want to add some realism reference as well, such as for this guy I used the lighting. I didn't use exactly his lighting because it's really dark. So this lighting is like a photo room lighting. So I just use his plane, how his shadow lies, and I just use it over my character. Yeah, as you can see, reference is not just copying. It's just use what you can observe, and you can take little things that what you observe to put into your character. That's what I feel what reference is. But yeah, overall, I'm probably gonna speed this up again because I think I took around 3 hours to finish this drawing, and it's really long. And the line art I always have trouble with line art for some reason. This line art, I have a trouble of making it look still, right? I mean, the smooth line work. But the good thing is I do mostly paintings. So it's usually the line work for me is a guide, except for chibis. Chibis, I use it to outline a character, obviously. But usually for portrait painting and my character painting, the line work usually goes away. So usually line weight, line shape doesn't really important to me unless I draw chibis. But yeah, or more 2D work. So what I do so far is just doing the lasso tool and drop all the mid-tone for all the section of his outfit, his hair, and the skin tone. And I feel like this one, I started to like this method better because in the past method, I used grayscale. So I grayscale the character first with using black, basically grayscale, using the grayscale color palette. And then I use overlay and multiply on top of it. And then I slowly build up from it. And I feel like I don't know why it's more harder for me to do it. Either I'm doing it wrong or whatever, but I feel like just placing all the mid-tone first is more easier for me than grayscaling itself. Grayscale is good, I feel, that with background because you need to differentiate the color tone and everything. But for portrait, I don't really know because portrait, for me, I feel like dropping the mid-tone is more easier. I mean, I take painting class in school, and I usually do oil painting. I feel like oil painting is always easier for me. And of course, oil painting you don't do grayscale, and then you drop grayscale on the bottom and do painterly on top. You just usually paint right away, and you build up the color. Maybe that's why I slowly like this method more. But overall, basically I'm just doing the lasso tool, dropping in the color, and I do it all in separate layers. So the skin will be in a separate layer, the hair will be in a separate layer, and the clothes itself will be a separate layer. So the reason why I put that as separate layers is easier to select, so you can use the airbrush to make the skin more smoother and everything. So now the base color is done and all the layers are separate. You can now use the airbrush tool to create a gradient because it is painting. So painting isn't like stagnant color. So if I want to color the hair, I go to the hair layer and I select the hair layer, and then I just use a big airbrush and then I just go over it to make the transition look nicer. And the way I color is usually the dark side or the light side. I use a reference, which is that guy I'm using, to see the character face plane and where the light is directed by. Of course, if you want to make your own lighting, you have to kind of think more. But it's better to start out somewhere or use a certain reference. So this is more like a semi-realism painting portrait, and I will admit that I do still have difficulty making semi-realism. I feel like most of my semi-realism art, the face look kind of, how you say it, perfect. It has no blemishes, and it's not like feel plasticky sometimes. So I have an on and off relationship with this style, but I'm still trying to practice and get better. And the problem, not the problem, but the technique with semi-realism is I realize is one is you basically need to use the lighting to carve out your character structure. If that explains why, because some, your face, for example, your face isn't flat. It has your nose who's rising up, and some people have very deep eye socket, so you rely on the lighting, how it shines to those facial features to carve out your characters to make them look more distinguished. So yeah, most of the time I'm still practicing this type of style. I've been practicing for it for a long time, and I still not satisfied with it. But overall, I think I'm slowly getting better. Hopefully I get way better and make a better tutorial. But so far, what this is mostly rely on lighting And after that, it's your own style to implement it too. So another important tool is a flip canvas and liquify tool. So the flip canvas tool, I feel like that was the most important because it makes you see your character flaws. So sometimes when you mirror flip it, it looks completely different than what you originally what the previous appearance looked like. So maybe it's normal in your original appearance, and when you flip it, the face is more outward. If you fix that when it's flipped, and then you flip back and it'll still look good, then that's when you really realize that it's good, it's done. But the second one is the Liquify tool, and the Liquify tool is great for maybe you want your character eye smaller, or maybe the face shape is a little too thick, which I do that sometimes. You just decrease it, and then you could click on the preview button. If you don't like it, you don't need to do it, but it helps you have more insight of your character and how you can change it, right? So that's a very important tool. So overall, that's pretty much done. But basically, it's very semi-realism. I feel like it's really heavy on lighting, and I think the only thing I'm missing for my semi-realism art for sure is maybe the texture of the face, and maybe the blue. It needs more blue hues or more warm colors. I don't really know because I'm still learning as an artist as well. But overall, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Oh, I forgot. The lasso tool is really important, so remember to use the lasso tool for those clean cut gradients. I don't know how to yeah, clean cut gradients. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty much done with this video. I might do a sticker video next because I still haven't done the sticker review for Sticker Mule yet. But I've been busy trying to improve my skills, so I don't have much time to make videos. But I want to try to make videos more often for fun. So yeah, hopefully this helped you guys. I'm not sure, I'm not great at tutorial, but I'm still learning. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of the video.